Warning: the following podcast contains adult language and childish comedy. Listener discretion is advised. And now, please adjust your headphone volume to an unreasonable level and enjoy the most dynamic and electrifyingly entertaining podcast ever to conquer cyberspace. This is
Amish Baby Machine.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the most powerful podcast ever created, the Amish Baby Machine Pop Culture Podcast. Very excited. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for downloading. And right now, our friend, my friend, Mike Rez.
Hello, Dags. How are you?
Oh, doing powerfully.
Awesome. That's good to hear.
Yes, I have my powerful power aid here. I feel they should give me some money. Because, you know, the whole power thing, and I'm drinking power aid.
They owe you. Have they ever approached you for a Amish Baby Machine flavored Powerade?
No, they should. I like that, though.
What would be the flavor?
I enjoy grape. They have grape right now, so I don't know. What do you think? When you think of this powerful podcast, what flavor comes to mind?
Mixed fruit.
Mixed fruit. What fruit would you mix in there?
Red fruit, blue fruit, purple fruit, and maybe some orange fruit.
Are you taking this seriously?
I always take it seriously.
All right. God bless you. God love you. Power to the flock. Powerful show today. Powerful beer review. We enjoyed 2 different movies. And we have a powerful song of the day.
It's a lot. It's always a lot.
It is. It is. And what I want you to do right now, sexily describe your powerful beverage, your beer you're going to drink. Crack that open. Fire up the AMSR, and let's get this party started right.
All right. So I bought some beer, a 6-pack of the Make Your Own. And just so the flock knows, as I'm speaking, I'm recording this real-time beer review because we're going to use it for some marketing for the podcast. So what I chose, there were 6 different beers. I asked people on Facebook what I should try. And it was kind of a mixed bag of what people thought I should try. So I decided, because there's kind of a tie, I'm going with the Victory Golden Monkey. Victory Brewery is out of Downingtown, Pennsylvania, or Downingtown. Are you a Downington or Downingtown?
I'm up with the towns.
All right. Well, there you go.
I mean, I'm down with towns.
Down with towns, uptown, downtown.
Uptown girl. Powerful Billy Joel. Let's get
Billy Joel.
I was ready to go into a powerful Billy Joel. Here's the thing with Billy Joel. When he was depressed, his music was cool. When he was happy, you got Uptown Girl.
That's right. And then he got a wife out of that too.
Yeah. I don't think it lasted long though.
No. I think you're right.
I think the creative, powerful types said, they got to move on.
Right.
Now, this powerful video you're doing of this beer, you're going to want to see it. You're going to want to follow us on all the social medias. Twitter at Amish B Machine. Do it now. Powerful Mike Rez. Describe that beer.
Okay. So first let's talk about the beer because I do some research on the beer. You don't just, this isn't just a half-ass review.
Wow. It's a full-ass review.
It's a full-ass review.
360-degree ass review.
Hell yes. It's Golden Monkey. It's a Belgian-style triple. And before you ask me, hey, what's a Belgian-style triple? I looked that up too. What it means, it's the triple amount of malt that you find in a normal standard beer. So that makes it a couple of shades darker than a Pilsner. And if people want to know what a Pilsner is, then think of Miller Lite. That's a Pilsner. So think of a darker than that. So we're actually going to see if that's true.
It is 3 times is what you're saying.
Yes, more malt.
Triple X malt.
Mm-hmm. The alcohol by volume tags 9.5. So I'm going to be a little buzzed after this.
I'm going to need you to turn up the volume.
Pump it up. The remember the IBUs? Remember what that meant?
International British Unit. No, it was International Bitterness Unit.
Right. This is a bitterness unit of 25. So this is 2 units bigger than the one I did last week.
That's a big unit.
It's a big unit. It's using Pilsner hops Pilsner malt, as we said, and Tanang hops. So here are the notes, and this is where we get fancy and where all the beer nerds can get excited. The nose is loaded with Belgian yeast character of banana and clove. And equally, here comes our favorite word, fruity body, balanced with a light, earthy hop character, savor notes of orange and spice, followed by a dry finish. So it's almost like what your Powerade flavor I suggested should be.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, mine's got to be all mysterious and sexy and spices and musks.
Ooh, musks.
Yes. Now, when you mentioned clove,
yeah,
it reminded me of, do you remember those Dejarm cigarettes, the clove cigarettes?
Yeah, I actually knew somebody who used to smoke those.
Oh, they were powerful, weren't they?
They smelled pretty good.
Yes, they're powerful. That's 80s in a cigarette right there.
Right.
But apparently now they're too threatening, so you can't smoke them.
No, but you can put them in beer.
Yes.
I've got so the people that are going to watch the review are going to see my Minnesota hockey puck bottle opener.
Whoa.
So we're going to open it up. I'm going to see if I can get it in the microphone here. Hold on.
Is it Minnesota Moose? Is that your hockey team?
No, it just says Minnesota Hockey on there. Established 1966. So probably just like, that's when our first team was available.
The Fighting Saints?
So the Fighting Saints. I like that.
Powerful Minnesota hockey references.
We're going to pour now.
We are pouring now.
People in the video can see
yes.
it. Okay, so for the flock listening.
Yes, please describe it.
They lied about the color. It's not that dark.
Whoa.
A Miller Lite's darker. Not a lot of head on that. For those that like head.
Oh, I think we all do.
And all right, so here we go. Let's try it. Let's see if I can get the banana and the clove and the orange zest.
Are you smelling?
I am. I'm actually smelling as you ask if I'm smelling.
Are you using your hand to waft the odors? Well, in chemistry class, you do remember you do not directly smell. You use your powerful hands to stimulate the air so it flows towards your nostrils.
Waft
yes,
it?
Waft it. Waft like an Egyptian.
There is the orange. I can smell the orange.
Citrus.
I can smell the clove. There is banana in there. I can tell that.
Wow.
Yeah, it actually tastes pretty good. This is a winner in my book. I'm a little disappointed it's not as dark as they said it was going to be.
You wanted the darkness.
I did. I actually kind of did.
All right. So describe it.
I would say if you know what a Coors Light tastes like, and then add like a little bit of like a fruity clovey flavor, I guess. It's actually pretty good. It's a little sweet, but not too sweet. And it said on the website here that there's a dry finish, which I'm not really getting. I've just taken like 5 sips already, and I'm not getting that dry.
Now let me ask you, this is a high alcohol content. Are you tasting the alcohol?
No, that's good. But that doesn't mean it's not in there, because by the time I get about halfway through, it will be kicking me in the ass.
It's going to kick you in the ass. It reminds me of the WAPs I had back in the old days. You know what a WAP is? A Wapatui?
Oh, yeah. You just throw a whole bunch of alcohol in a cooler or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Throw some fruit in there. Fruit.
Those are powerful because it creeps up on you. The powerful taste of alcohol is masked.
Yeah, I can see that this could creep up on you.
Yes.
So it's good, though. I'll buy it again.
I'm thinking the flavor of my Powerade might be Tahitian Treat. I do enjoy that.
Tahitian Treat. Just in purple color.
So how many ounces what is the bottle? Is it cool looking?
Yeah, it is. It's got it's a blue label. The words Golden Monkey are surrounded by a purple, frame, I guess you could call it. And there is some kind of Vishnu-looking monkey drawing in the middle. It's a monkey with 4 arms, but with an eyeball in its stomach.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's an Indian vibe?
Maybe. I don't know if it's supposed to be, but yeah, I guess you could kind of say that.
Are they Minnesota Vikings colors?
No, it's definitely not deep purple and deep yellow or gold yellow. It's more like a lighter lighter purple, excuse me.
Okay. And give us the name again of that powerful drink.
Sure. It's called Golden Monkey by Victory Brewery in Downingtown or Downingtown, Pennsylvania, however you want to pronounce it.
Powerful.
And we're giving pint glasses. I remember this one is going to get a 4 pint glasses.
That's your rating.
That's my rating. 4 pint glass rating out of 5.
So it's called Brass Monkey, right?
Golden Monkey.
I'm just in a Beastie Boys mood. I'm sorry.
All right, that's okay. Yeah, we're gonna buy this again, and that's your Amish baby machine, real time beer review.
Yes.
Of a beer I've never tried.
Wonderful. Thank you for enjoying that for the flock of Amish.
Oh, anything for the flock.
Now, we did enjoy a couple of movies. Are you prepared? Are you getting a little buzz off that?
I'm not going to lie. I am feeling a little bit of it.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
These will be great movie reviews.
They will. They'll be powerful. And I'm getting power off my Powerade. Purple Powerade. That's a lot of peas.
A lot of don't pop your peas.
No, I have a powerful pop filter. Some parts of the country, they call it soda filter. The first movie we enjoyed was Extraction.
Yes.
Now lay it down for the kids. Tell us about the movie Extraction.
All right. Extraction is a 2020 American action thriller movie directed by Sam Hargrave. This was his directing debut, and it was written by Joe Russo and produced by Joe and Anthony Russo. People are saying, why do I know those names? It's because the Russo brothers are famous for a couple of the Captain America movies and both Avengers Infinity Wars and Endgame. They've been in a couple of other movies and TV shows as well. But this movie stars none other than Thor himself, Chris Hemsworth. He plays Tyler Rake, who is as they say here, a black market mercenary and former Australian Special Air Service Regiment soldier. And he is hired to pretty much kidnap back the son of a drug lord from India who gets kidnapped from a rival drug lord from Bangladesh. So he has to go in, his team is hired to go in and save this kid and bring him back to India. So he's actually just like taking him from one drug lord and bringing him back to another drug lord. You know, the happy-go-lucky story that everybody loves.
What did you think? What are your thoughts on that movie Extraction?
I liked it. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. I thought this, it had the potential to be a train wreck, like a lot of action movies these days do, especially like ones that are made that go straight to Netflix, that Netflix is involved with. Sometimes they use too much CGI, and there is a couple of CGI explosions in this, but I like the action. The action was sweet. The stunts were awesome. The sound effects were great. And it's just like a typical action movie. If you want to just disappear for a little while into a movie, this one is an hour and 57 minutes worth of disappearing into a movie. What did you think?
Powerful, over-the-top violence. Reminded me of John Wick.
Absolutely.
Now, what are your thoughts? I was a little hung up on things that should kill someone and they're not dead yet.
Yeah, I agree with you. So they're the Sanju, the guy who works for the kid's dad. He's kind of got a little bit of superpower in him, in the fact that no matter what happens, he just keeps coming back.
I would have to say they're both kind of Terminators.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. There was Chris Hemsworth did have some scenes where you're just like, oh, come on. But it's fun. It's a good movie. And like you said, there's a lot of like super violent scenes in here. So, but I like those that they're violent, but they're not gory. So it's not like you have to like turn away and be like, I don't know if I can take any more of this.
Yeah, almost cartoon. So, like I said, over the top. Reminded me a lot of Call of Duty. They were definitely influenced by Call of Duty watching this.
Oh, yeah,
I call it Call
definitely.
of Duty Extraction.
I saw that you called it that, and I thought, I wonder if Call of Duty had anything to do with this. I couldn't find anything that said that. So,
how do you think Chris Hemsworth did as the star of the movie?
I think he did good. I can't see why he can't play that character, and I think he did all right in it. His brother Liam, who was in The Expendables, that was a weird casting for his brother, I think, because his brother, I don't think, can play those parts, but Chris Hemsworth can get away with it. So I was fine with it. What did you think? Did you think he was all right in that
it
role?
Was great. It worked out well. I'd like to see him in other movies. I think they could have had a little more sense of humor in there to break it up.
It was very serious, yeah. And the one knock that I have on Chris Helmsworth that I was noticing yesterday when I was watching it was he mumbles a lot in the scenes that are supposed to be like really serious and when he's supposed to be quiet or talk in a lower tone. It was hard to understand him a couple of times. But when he's like in the middle of an action scene and he's yelling or doing something with a lot of excitement, then it's fine. You can understand him just fine. But he mumbles quite a bit.
And you don't think it worked out for that role?
No, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but he kind of mumbled as Thor a couple of times in the Avengers movies as well. So I think that's maybe just a personality trait he has.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But it worked for you, though.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I liked the movie. David Harbour is in it from Stranger Things, Hopper.
Yeah, how do you think he did in that?
It's kind of a different role for him, but I think it was a good casting because he's getting pretty big right now too, and it kind of solidifies him as his action acting chops because he's doing a couple of those roles now. I mean, Hopper's starting to turn into an action figure in Stranger Things.
Hopper! Get to the hopper! You reminded me of a young John Goodman. I can see John Goodman doing that role.
Yeah, right. I can see that too. They're kind of got the same mannerisms and body type.
They do. Yeah, I definitely see him as a John Goodman type.
Now, without giving away too much, what did you think of Tyler Rake's backstory, Chris Helmsworth's backstory?
In what sense?
Well, and just in why he is the way, why he's just kind of reckless in his own personal life, and why he's still a mercenary.
Did that bother you or not?
A little bit. It kind of that part seemed a little cliche. Just be kind of nice to have a mercenary movie where the guy was just like, fuck it, I just like killing people.
They usually want that for the bad guy, but
right.
You wanted a little more anti-hero type.
Kinda, yeah. 'Cause he kind of played that role. I mean, his team was definitely playing that role. There was a couple of times where they're just like, you just got to get out of there, leave the kid.
The final scene. What were your thoughts on that?
Interesting. I didn't know what to think of that final scene. I think we could have done without the last 2 seconds, and I don't want to give it away. So, but you know what I mean by the last 2 seconds. Okay, yeah, we could have done without that. So we could have just left it where it was before that.
Another thing I didn't like is how it started towards the end in the beginning.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
Because then right away you're thinking, oh, is that it? Or how is that going to change? And how's he going to get out of that?
Right.
So I kind of like cold openings. That's cool. And then they left that ending open, to insert here whatever you want to happen.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, the ending was, I liked the movie. The ending didn't ruin it. It just, it is what it is, I guess, at this point. You know what
it made me miss? It made me miss seeing movies in the movie theater. Because that would have been so cool in the movie theater.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool.
I tweeted on Twitter, @AmishBMachine. Make sure you follow us. I don't care how big your screen is, how epic your sound system is. Movies are meant to be seen in the movie theater. They're directed, they're filmed. Everything is meant for the big screen. So that movie, I would have loved to have seen in the big screen. All the bullets, the bombs, all that stuff would have been so much better.
Yeah, now before we had this virus explosion, didn't Netflix had a movie or two go to the movie theaters, didn't they? Or am I wrong on that?
Well, I'm trying to remember. I mean, I know they had the whole thing with the Irishman.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I think they have to have because they did release that in a couple of theaters because they had to be in the theaters to be.
Or no seating at all.
Am I wrong?
Yes, correct. That's exactly why they did it. But there's that whole thing now with that Trolls 2 movie in Universal, where that went straight to home release, and they charged everyone $20 instead of going in the movie theater. And it turns out they got huge numbers. And now AMC said they're not going to play Universal movies anymore. They said it's not an idle threat. They're actually, that's it, they're done. Because they did that to movie theaters.
Sure.
And the weird thing is, when they release a movie straight to home audiences, the people that make the movies get to keep about 80% of it. If they release in the movie theater, they're getting about half of that.
Right.
So they got to be
so it was a
yeah.
money.
So they got to be thinking, well, we don't need.
It'll be interesting to see how this changes everything, because some movies are going straight to on demand right now.
Remember back in the day when it went to video, it took forever to get to video, and now
Yeah, it
now
did.
that window is just closing, and now Universal's thinking, well, we're gonna make money, 80% of
Right.
this. Why do we even need to go to movie theaters? And then people are thinking, why
Right.
do I have to expose myself to the coronavirus, spend $80 on a popcorn when I can just watch it at home?
I think Netflix is getting. I was worried with all these other streaming services popping up that Netflix. They're losing a whole lot of content, but they're actually starting to make some of their own content that's really good. So this is one of them.
Now, were you a movie guy? Did you go out to the movie theater, or did you watch it at home?
Well, I was at that stage with my kids where we were going back out to the movie theater more. So when you have kids when they're younger, it's harder to take them out. So you just kind of waited till things came out on video. You just went to the Blockbuster on Friday nights. And now that they're older, then we can go out and enjoy more movies just easier. So when they're 16, it's pretty much on autopilot at this point.
I like the whole experience going to movies. I like the movie on the opening night when the crowded theater, the energy of it. I like going out to eat afterwards, talking about it. But, I don't know if things are going to change, but there's definitely certain movies you want to see in the movie theater. That movie would have been awesome.
This movie would have been really good in the theater. I agree with that for sure.
And I like the no distractions. A lot of times when I'm at home, you start grabbing your phone, or people are calling you or talking, or there's glare on the screen. But when in the movie theater, you're in the movie, you're immersed in it. You're in those cool seats. I would way rather have that than at home, but that it's also cool not having to pay, $80 for popcorn and driving all the way there. So I don't know.
Right.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Although, my brother, he stopped going to movie theaters that just had regular seats. He started going to the ones with the recliner. That's the only ones he'll go to now. So I have a feeling my brother for sure will be definitely going back to the movie theater.
I only go to ones that have either futons or just to lay on the ground. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the ones with no seats, those are the best.
Yes.
You just stick right to the ground. Awesome.
Powerful.
Yeah. Hey, side note, I'm halfway through this beer. I'm getting trashed.
I was going to ask you, how is it?
It's delicious.
Is it, so right off the bat, you enjoyed it and you're still enjoying it?
Still enjoying it, yep. I think this is going to be, because I only bought one because I did a make your own 6-pack. And I'm kind of sad I only bought one.
Or how about a hammock? You just hang in a hammock.
Oh, that would be sweet. Hammock movies?
Yes.
Hammock theaters?
Or a banana
Be
hammock,
awesome.
whatever. Powerful. So Extraction, out of 5 buggy wheels, what are you giving it?
Ooh, I think we should let you do that first, because I always go first and then I always take what you would say. So why don't you go first and then I'll do mine.
Solid movie, a little generic for me. A little too over the top on the violence. I would have liked it a little more realistic. The stuff happening on the bridge, it didn't work for me. But there was a lot of cool fighting in there. I'm giving it 3.5 buggy wheels.
Ooh. All right. Well, I agree. It's a good movie. It was a nice action movie. If you like I'm not going to say it's just like the action movies of the 80s, but as far as action goes, it's jam-packed, just like the old action movies of the 80s. And it pretty much doesn't stop all the way through. There's a couple of slow spots, but nothing that you can't get through. I'm going to give it 4 buggy wheels.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I think the difference
I liked it.
Good. You liked it. I think the difference with the 80s movies is they had more sense of humor and they had the powerful lines, the taglines.
Correct.
So
especially those Arnold movies.
Yeah. Arnold had them. What's your favorite Arnold tagline?
In Commando, when he tells the dude to stick around when he shoves a knife through his chest that ends up in the post.
Stick around.
Stick around.
Oh, that reminds me. Make sure you, it's on Twitter at Amish Bee Machine, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you see my powerful Arnold impersonation.
Yeah.
You're going to love
Your
it.
creepy Arnold impersonation.
Powerful deep fake technology.
Yeah. If people want to hop over to Mike Rez Radio on TikTok as well, I've got a couple that almost broke TikTok.
Whoa.
Well, not really, but people don't need to know that part.
Let's get it all out there. Get your plugs in there.
All right. Follow Mike Rez Radio all over social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and you can find the Mike Rez Radio t-shirt store at tpublic.com.
Powerful. Now I'm going to need you kids to go to amishbabymachine.com. One-stop shop. You need to check out our merch. Powerful t-shirts, powerful mugs, hoodies, stickers. We have it all, amishbabymachine.com. Great way to help support this podcast is through your powerful purchases of our merch. Also, Patreon, link on amishbabymachine.com, patreon.com. That way you can help us out. Make sure you follow us on all social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Wherever you go, we're going to be there. And wherever you listen to powerful podcasts, make sure you leave a review. 5-star review is the best. It will unlock the secrets to Mike Rez's hair. How is your hair doing?
It's sad and pathetic. I went and tried to get some clippers yesterday. Sold out everywhere. Sold out online. Name a store, I tried it. Sold out. My hair's getting long. It's getting annoying. I'm not a hippie yet, but give me 2 weeks. I will be at the hippie stage.
How's your male pattern baldness?
It's horrible. It's actually not. That's actually why I wear a hat. People don't know that. And now the flock knows.
Powerful.
I wear a hat because I'm going bald.
Do you have a powerful skullet?
Not yet. I think we should do it. Is it make Hulk Hogan jealous? Was Hulk Hogan's skullet the most powerful skullet you've ever seen?
It really was. Hulk Hogan is powerful. Thunder Lips. I do enjoy Hulk Hogan's skullet.
I forgot about Thunder Lips.
Yes, powerful. The thing is, when you wear a hat, though, you're kind of like doing the Ron Howard. I think everyone knows what's going on.
Almost doing the Ron Howard.
You just got to embrace it.
Yeah, it's not. I do have to. It's not as bad as Ron Howard. I'd say I've got 3/4 hair.
Well, his skull's all fucked up, the shape of his skull. So some people have beautiful skulls.
Right.
I, for one, have a powerfully beautiful skull.
And some people are Ron Howard.
Yes.
So Opie Cunningham.
Some people are Clint Howard.
Oh,
Powerful. Now I want to get into the song of the day.
All right. Yeah, let's do it. I enjoyed that song.
Powerful 80s band. Powerful British electronic group. The song of the day is Underneath the Radar by Underworld. This powerful song was released in 1988 from the album Underneath the Radar. And the cool thing about it is why I picked it. It was featured prominently in the 5th season premiere of Miami Vice. They had powerful aerial shots of Miami. They had a cool nightclub shootout scene. And they used that powerful song, Underneath the Radar. I got some powerful trivia too. They have this cool beeping Morse code in the beginning of the song. And what they're saying is think global, act local.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Morse code is powerful. Anytime you hear that, it's just powerful.
Yeah. Have you ever thought of doing an Amish Bee Machine episode in Morse code?
I have featured Morse code. Like the entire show would be Morse code.
Yeah. They hold the whole thing.
Yes. Do it on a telegraph. Yeah.
Yeah. You and the U.S. Navy would know what the heck was going on.
dot 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 dash 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 dot dot dot. Powerful. So what are your thoughts on the powerful song Underneath the Radar?
Well, it was the first time I heard it when you sent it to me, and I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually. The beginning, the guitar in it, so I like it has that kind of like a bassy guitar sound. It's not bass guitar, but it's like that deeper guitar sound, that dum do 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 do. So that got my attention right away. I always say a song has 10 seconds to get my attention, and this song sure did.
Powerful.
So I liked it a lot. I listened to it a couple of times after you sent it to me. And it's got the synth pop sound to it, so that makes me happy.
Yes.
So I didn't, like I said, I've never heard of them before, and I see they've been around for a while.
Yeah, from the early 80s.
Yeah, they're still performing. Actually, I found the most recent photo I found of them was from 2017. But it sounds like they're still, the two main guys are still at it.
Thank you for enjoying my pick.
Absolutely.
Anytime you hear Miami Vice, you hear synth, can't go wrong.
Right.
And I figure I wanted to pick a song that is a little deeper cut that most people haven't heard.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for enjoying Underneath the Radar. How's that beer going down?
Too well, actually. It's almost gone.
Well, here, hold on. We got to do a salute to the flock of Amish, the friends, our family that listens to this powerful podcast, the most powerful podcast ever created. Everyone hold up your glass. Like Rez, hold up your powerful bottle. Salute. Whoa.
There we go.
I didn't even have to add that special effect. That was real.
That was real. That was the
Powerful.
bottle and the glass. Yeah. So we got about maybe 2 drinks left of this beer, and then we're done with it.
Are you going to bust open another one or just enjoy that one?
No, we're going to just enjoy this one. Where I'm coming to you from, the flock will see it in the video of the review. I'm coming from my art studio. We'll call it my art studio, which is really just the basement.
Now, we're talking about art studios. We're talking about podcast setups. Do you enjoy something that's really put together well? Everything matches, everything's perfect? Or do you like more of a just rustic, real feel? What do you like? Do you like things that are too polished? Or so what I'm trying to say is a lot of times you see these podcast studios and these guys go out and they buy the best of the best and everything's lined up perfectly and they have everything cabinets.
They got the soundproofing on the wall.
They got the posters. Everything is impeccable. They have their ubiquitous shelving with all their little Funko Pop dolls and all that bullshit. Or do you like just kind of a messy joint?
No, give me a messy joint. I mean, you've seen, and this is not an insult to Frogtown Radio, but you've seen the Frogtown Radio joint. And, it's an old locker room where you and I recorded. So I kind of like the jumbled mess. It's more real, I think. And not to say that people doing podcasts in a nice polished studio isn't good. It's just, I like the aesthetic of what's around you and what do you got, and you're making it work. That's what I like. So,
and I feel
like?
It's much easier too to have a shitty studio.
Hell yeah, it is.
Powerful.
Not to put anything up. Yeah.
Powerful. So let's get into the second movie. We enjoyed a second movie, Operation Odessa. Powerful documentary, once again, trapped in the 80s. Let's get into it, Mike Rez. Tell us about Operation Odessa.
Well, speaking of Miami Vice, that had some Miami Vice graphic feel to it.
Yes.
In this movie. And I have to admit, I read the description and I didn't read it enough to read the part where it said it was a documentary. I thought it was a full-length feature movie. But yeah, it's a documentary of, I don't know what you call them. They're not really drug lords, but they do dabble in the world of drugs.
Time lords,
yeah. I mean, there's mobsters. There's a Russian mobster, the main guy, Ludwig Feinberg, or as you get to know him as Tarzan. Who in the 80s, the pictures of him, he has fabulous hair.
He really did.
So, yeah, I mean, there was some definite, what was that? The hot oil treatment that was going on back in the 80s. That was definitely happening in his hair. VO5, yeah. And then you had Juan Alameda, who was another character in there. And the other main character, the third main character, whose name I am not finding. What was it? Hector Yester
Yes, sir.
was his name, I believe. Yeah. So, and he was a member of the Medellin drug cartel in Colombia. So he had his hands in
Cali.
everything. And basically, yeah, the Cali cartel. Pablo Escobar was one of his associates, or he was one of Pablo Escobar's associates, I should say, because Pablo Escobar was running shit down there in Colombia. So it's basically a story of how these three met. This Tarzan character was an old mobster from New York who moved to Miami. He was from Russia, so he had a lot of Russian ties, as well as what was he? Hitman for the Gambino crime family in New York. Juan Alameda was helping people run drugs with his marina business and selling speedboats, and then finding a way to get helicopters from Moscow during the fall of the Soviet Union. And it just kind of, I explained it to someone at work that if you like the Tiger King, you'll like this, because you just can't believe people say this crap on camera. It'll surprise you. And it was a fun watch. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
What did you think about it?
People like to talk about themselves,
especially mobsters.
Yeah, people like to talk about themselves. Exactly, mobsters. So it's kind of cool. There was a backstory of how the guy went about getting interviews from everyone. That's something you should look into. That's kind of cool.
Oh, I think I saw some of that. Yeah, Tiller Russell is the filmmaker. Are you talking about how the Colombian drug guy got a hold of him?
Yeah, the whole thing. It's just cool how he had to fly around and find these people. And
right. I liked how they Tarzan and Juan Alameda told him there's no way that Yester character was going to talk to him. In the next scene, he's sitting down with him.
Yeah, he just take advantage of people's egos. But
right.
It's cool. Like you see back in the day, you see strip clubs where they laundered the money. They had the Russian mob. They're buying helicopters. And this was at the fall of the Soviet Union, where you could go over there and everything was so cheap.
It's like a playground for criminals, basically.
I think
it's what happened.
Yeah, anyone. I mean, went over there and you could just live like a king, because all you need is some cigarettes and some Levi jeans, and you're gonna have anything you want. And it's kind of cool how they get into how they wanted helicopters and then eventually a submarine.
Right. I get the helicopter, or the first part when they bought the motorcycles, how they rented the helicopters, and the people that the military or whoever owned those helicopters said, well, it's going to be expensive, and it came back with $500 to rent a helicopter. Like, screw it, we're getting 10. So, and then the whole thing with the cops and everything, and they buy how many? I mean, was it $200 a motorcycle? So they bought hundreds of motorcycles from this factory that's making them, and then it just escalates. It's kind of like, well, what else can we get?
And there was also a cool scene where they thought they were trapped and they had to get themselves out of it.
Yeah. That's a scene. Yeah, people need to watch that scene, because that one my palms got a little sweaty on that one, even though I was watching them tell the story, so you kind of know how it turned out. But it was pretty funny how they got out of it.
No, it was cool, and it was cool. It's cool to see how, like I say, the fall of the Soviet Union, how it was all going down back then in the 80s, and all the drug money, and how it was kind of cool how you see Colombia, the Russian mob, and then United States, kind of that triangle. And they're
right.
all trying to outsmart each other. And
yeah, who had the smarter criminals, or even the smarter law enforcement at the time.
And then yeah, exactly. And then there's law enforcement too. And then you find out what really happened to all the three guys. And you think after all of that, that's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
So that
Although,
part's cool too.
yeah, so what's not in the documentary that I found when you looked up, or that I looked up, the filmmaker Tiller Russell, how he found this Tarzan guy. So he was interviewing one of the DEA agents in the documentary, and he was saying, "Oh, you gotta, you want to make a good movie or film, you should talk to this guy. It's got this and that." And he was telling the story of Tarzan, and he finds Tarzan in a Panamanian prison, and he goes to talk to him. So he has to bribe the guard to let him in. So the guard lets him in, but tells him, you have to run across that yard where all the prisoners are. And if you can get to the other side, and they'll let you in the building, but you got to get to the other side on your own. So they let him in. He gets to the other side, and he talks to him. And this Tarzan guy was like, had wanted nothing really to do with him, kind of wasn't cooperating. And so he left, thinking, I just, wasted, risking my life on this guy. And then they said, like 7 years later, this Tarzan guy calls him up and says, "You want to make a movie? Let's make a movie. I just broke out of prison and I'm back in Moscow." So, so that's where the movie picks up. So he was in a Panamanian prison. He escaped and somehow got back to Moscow. So
No, but that's why it's so cool, because it really happened that way.
right, yeah, it was nuts. Was there anything in particular that stuck out to you about this documentary, other than the strip clubs, the drugs?
There was no, like in the Tiger Kings where they have this over the top kind of. This one was played a little more straightforward,
Right.
so it looked like a documentary you would see on anything, the History Channel.
Right.
No, it was enjoyable though.
Yeah, and it's only one 1 hour and 35-minute episode, so you get it all right away. So there's no extra episodes or 7 episodes or 10 episodes you have to watch. So and this was made in 2018. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
The other thing is, a lot of times when they film someone, you kind of figure out where they are.
Mm-hmm.
That part. Sometimes it's like the old thing where they show a guy and they show him, and then from the head and shoulders up, and then they pan down and he's in a wheelchair, and like, oh, that's what happened to him. So in this one, when you were watching it from the background, did anything change, or did you say, oh, that happened to him, or he's going to be fine, or he's not fine, or?
No, the only thing the only real thing, the only thing that changed is, one time they're interviewing with Yester in a plane, and then once they're interviewing him in a plane hangar, because he's still on the run. I mean, like, to this day, he's still running from the cartel and the feds here in the United States. So that was the only thing that changed. Everybody else was, that Juan guy and Tarzan, they were in the same location, I believe, weren't they?
We're not going to tell the fans.
It didn't give anything away, which was what was kind of cool about it. You kind of had to keep watching to find out what was going to happen next.
All right, I'm going to give it my powerful score. I will say I'm going to stick with the theme, 3.5. 3.5
right.
Buggy Wheels. How about you?
I'm going to stick with the theme as well. I'm going with the 4 on this one. Although I did see Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 100%.
Yeah,
so
but
there's not one critic review.
Yeah, I don't go by those. Those are all bullshit anyway.
How about IMDb, where you can write your own review? That's a 7.8 out of 10.
All right.
But yeah, I'll give it a 4. I liked it. I actually kind of like this one a little better than Extraction, but not enough to bump it up to 4.5.
I tried to pick a couple of movies that were a little, different apart, not the same thing. So I'm going to get a documentary, action film, and then the powerful song of the day ties in with the documentary.
Yeah, I think I agree with all that. I mean, we get the Miami Vice feel in the song. You got the Miami Vice feel in the documentary.
Thank you.
And then you got some kick-ass action in the other movie.
Thank you. And I hope everyone enjoyed the powerful episode we put together.
Yeah, and get some Golden Monkey. Find it and drink it. You'll probably only need like 2 or 3.
Powerful. And check us out. Make sure you check out all the social medias, AmishBabyMachine.com. And I got a couple of shout outs for our friends on Twitter. Shout out to Jack at Gotta Talk Poker. Shout out to Dino at Podcast. We'll say hi to Ryan, our friends at the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast, and at Here on Mars. Shout out to those guys. Thanks for supporting us on Twitter. Thank you, Mike Rez, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And until next time, you've just enjoyed the Amish Baby Machine Pop Culture Podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Amish Baby Machine Pop Culture Podcast. It is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and everywhere else fine podcasts are found. Please support our podcast through Patreon and shop our merch at AmishBabyMachine.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. This has been an Amish Baby Machine production.